Hello and welcome to yet another lesson. Today's lesson will be about reminding ourselves about the temporary nature of everything around us and how to accept and cherish this reality. Let's look at the learning objectives for today. 1. Impermanence and seasons of change. 2. What is midlife crisis? How it affects men and women differently. And 3. Perimenopause, menopause and postmenopausal changes. How to turn these into your best season of life yet. Firstly, impermanence and seasons of change. Impermanence, the state or fact of lasting for only a limited period of time. This life we hold at the moment, the breath we pull into our lungs, the seasons and phases we go through, they all have one thing in common. They are all impermanent. In his book, A Guide to the Good Life, The Ancient Art of Stoic Joy, William Irvine says this: by contemplating the impermanence of everything in the world, we are forced to recognize that every time we do something could be the last time we do it, and this recognition can invest the things we do with a significance and intensity that would otherwise be absent. We will no longer sleepwalk through our life. Some people, I realize, will find it depressing or even morbid to contemplate impermanence. I'm nevertheless convinced that the only way we can be truly alive is if we make it our business periodically to entertain such thoughts. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and forget that our time on this earth is limited. We can get so caught up in the hustle and bustle that we forget to live. We forget to appreciate the people and the things around us. We forget to be grateful for what we have. It's important to remember that life is precious and fragile. It can be taken from us in an instant. We have to make the most of the time we have. We have to cherish each and every moment that is afforded to us today, for we may not have it granted tomorrow again. We have to remember that everything is temporary. Our bodies will one day break down and die. Our possessions will eventually be destroyed. Even our planet one day may be no more. It can be distressing to come in terms with the impermanence of our lives, but it's important to remember that life is beautiful precisely because it is fleeting. We have to make the most of every moment. We have to appreciate every day. It's hard to accept that everything in our lives is temporary. We get attached to people, places, and things, and we don't want to let them go. We want to hold on to the good times and keep them with us forever. But nothing lasts forever. Our life is merely a collection of seasons of change, and as it is up to us to accept and embrace each season for what new opportunity it holds for us and make the most of it. So how do we deal with the impermanence and the unavoidable seasons of change during midlife? We need to accept that change is a natural part of life and that it's okay to let go of things that no longer serve us. We cannot control everything, and that's okay. We need to be mindful of the present moment and savor the good moments as they happen. We need to cherish the people and things we have in our lives right now. We need to remember that even though things change, we always have ourselves. We are the constant in our lives, and we can always choose how to react to the changes around us. It's why you need to prioritize looking after your needs and your health. Change is an opportunity for growth. Change is an opportunity to explore new things, for learning new skills and ideas which you may have never tried previously. Embrace it as a chance to become a better version of yourself. Change can also bring with it new hope and possibilities. One of the most exciting seasons of change is when we start a new life path with uncertainties, but also filled with the excitement of limitless possibilities as well. That's what you should focus on, the new hope. Always keep your new hope as the key driver of your new vision. Secondly, let's talk about midlife crisis. How issues in midlife affect men and women differently. We all assume that all of us at some stage in our midlife, between 40 to 60, are going to go through a major midlife crisis. Midlife crisis as a term that is used to describe a period of distress or uncertainty in someone's life when they're going through major changes which they're not ready to accept or handle in a manner that adds to their happiness or contentment. In reality, more times than not, midlife issues are related to a crisis of confidence. You may question your choices, your abilities, and your worth. You start to doubt everything you previously were sure about. The good news is that not all go through a full-blown crisis in their midlife, so you may not face this crisis at all. However, what is likely is that you may deal with some major shifts in your life path and questions and doubts on how you have perceived and understood life till date. It can be a tough time for both men and women, but in many ways they experience it quite differently. For women, you may find that your midlife issues are often more physiological and emotional in nature, preparing for menopause and its after effects on the body, the emotional aspects of coming to terms with the fact that you're no longer in your zestful 20s or 30s, and perhaps that your youthful benefits of beauty and desirability are slipping away slowly, experiencing emptiness syndrome of either children leaving home or having children not needing you that much, death of parents and loved ones, and sometimes a loss of identity of who you really are. You may start to feel like you're invisible and that your best years are behind you. You may also feel like you're not doing anything worthwhile with your life apart from going through the motions. For men, your midlife issues often are psychological in nature primarily, and perhaps physical as well. You may feel like you lost your way in life, that you're not living up to your full potential, and that you're not doing anything with your lives that you're truly passionate about, or stuck with a job that you may not love and many times dread going into in the mornings. You may also feel like you're not as important as you used to be, and that your role in the world is diminishing when you compare yourself with younger, big achievers who seem to have done what you dreamt about doing in your 20s. You may feel like you're not accomplishing anything, even though you may have a successful career. You may also feel like you're not doing enough for your family or friends. Physically, you may start to be dealing with health issues, balding, weight issues, amongst others. Women are more likely to suffer from anxiety and depression during this time, while men are more likely to experience a crisis of confidence and purpose. Your parents may be getting older and may need your help, and you may be susceptible to new health issues and sudden onset of medical concerns. Of course, these are all just general indicators which are common, and not everyone experiences midlife struggles in the same way. But it's important to remember that everyone goes through it in their own way, and that it's absolutely okay to feel lost or confused during this time. In fact, it may be the best thing you ever feel. Here are the 4 best ways to insulate and protect yourself from a midlife crisis, and this applies to both men and women. 1. Don't try to cram things up. Rather bear it down. One of the most common mistakes people make during a midlife crisis is trying to do too much. They feel like they need to make up for lost time, so they try to cram as much as possible into their lives. This is a recipe for disaster. Not only will you likely not be able to accomplish everything you set out to do, but you'll also end up feeling even more overwhelmed, anxious, disillusioned, and stressed. This program on reinventing your identity, life purpose, and clarity is a solid start to distilling your life priorities only to that which matter. 2. Be honest with yourself. A midlife crisis can be a time of great self-doubt. You may question your choices, your abilities, and your worth. It's important to be honest with yourself during this time. Don't try to put on a brave face and pretend like everything is okay when it's not. Allow yourself to feel your emotions and reframe your irrational and unproductive thoughts by using the 10-step self-therapy formula to heal yourself from limiting thought patterns as you learned in a previous lesson. 3. Make time for yourself. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, but during a midlife crisis, it's important to make time for yourself. Take some time each day to do something that you enjoy, whether it's reading, taking a walk, or sitting in silence. Make sure to carve out some time for yourself. This time of introspection is very important, as you will find yourself at a crossroads many times, and it's a point where you'll be making major life decisions which may affect the course of the next 2 to 3 decades, and you need to be well informed, calm, and decisive in what you choose today. 4. Focus on what you have done right until now. It's easy to dwell only on the negatives during midlife, the things still left undone, the paths gone wrong. Think about all the things you have accomplished. Remind yourself of all the good and noble things you did do right by making a list of them. The reason being that seeing those factual notes down on pen and paper will help you to confront the thoughts of inadequacy, low achievement, and self-doubt in a way that trying to think positive thoughts can rarely do. Now, let's talk about perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopausal changes, and how to turn this into the best season of life yet. Now, for men, I would advise you to continue listening in, because I'm sure you have loved ones who are women, and it's very important you understand this period of their life. For women, you will find that this period of midlife coincides and overlaps significantly with the 3 stages of menopause, and it's important that you accept these changes and are aware of what you may feel and experience during this time. Perimenopause is the period before menopause, usually starts from 40 to 44 and is marked by decrease in levels of estrogen, a female hormone. This stage happens about 8 to 10 years before menopause kicks in. You may experience hot flashes or irregular periods even at this stage, and can last for several years through the average, but the average is about 4 years. Apart from the physical symptoms, you may experience sleep problems, insomnia, mood swings, and depressive episodes. Then we go on to the menopause. This is the average age it happens is between 45 to 55, but it can vary in others, starting from ages 40 right up to 58 as well. Here, your periods stop as your hormone levels drop. Apart from similar symptoms from the previous stage, you may also experience problems with memory, ability to concentrate on an activity, which is sometimes referred to as a brain fog. Your body shape may change noticeably, and you may notice weight increase as well. Then, postmenopause. This is the period after menopause until the rest of life. Apart from physical symptoms, you may continue to experience mood swings, anxiety, and depressive thoughts. The Cleveland Clinic recommends that you have a diet rich in phytoestrogens, which are a source of estrogen from plants such as whole grain cereals, flax seeds, chickpeas, and legumes. Firstly, some interesting facts you need to know. Both men and women have estrogen and testosterone in their bodies. Estradiol, the predominant form of estrogen, plays a very important role in modulating male sexual function. However, when males have higher levels of estrogen than normal, it can lead to infertility and slowed physical growth. Neuroscientist Lisa Mosconi, who founded the Women's Brain Initiative in New York City, has studied the effect of menopause on women's brain over several years. Here are her key findings, which you need to know. Menopause affects how a woman's brain ages differently than a man's brain, with women becoming twice at risk of developing Alzheimer's than men. Women's brain in midlife appears to be sensitive more than for men and affected by hormonal aging than chronological aging. Menopausal symptoms and their neurological connection. Women's brain interacts with their reproductive system, and these interactions are mediated through their hormones. Commonly known menopausal symptoms such as hot flashes, night sweats, insomnia, memory lapses, depression, or anxiety don't start with ovaries. They are neurological symptoms which start in the brain. Why is the brain affected so heavily by menopause? Your brain and ovaries are part of the neuroendocrine system. As part of the daily functioning, the brain talks to the ovaries and the ovaries talk back to the brain every single day. Let's talk about brain energy. For women, estrogen is not only crucial for reproduction but also for optimal brain function and for energy production in the brain. At the cellular level, estrogen drives neurons to burn glucose to create energy. So if your estrogen levels are high, your brain energy is high. When your estrogen levels decrease steadily, your neurons start slowing down their work and thus age faster. And studies have shown that this slowing process can even lead to formation of amyloid plaques or Alzheimer's plaques, which is a risk factor for developing Alzheimer's disease. Hot flashes. When estrogen is too low to sufficiently activate the part of the hypothalamus in the brain which regulates your body temperature, you can experience hot flashes. Sleep disturbances. When estrogen is too low to sufficiently activate brainstem, which regulates your sleep pattern, you then experience sleep disturbances. Mood swings. When estrogen is too low for the amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, you may experience mood swings. Memory lapses. When estrogen is too low to work the hippocampus, which is the memory center of the brain, you may notice that you forget things. As a woman in midlife, how can you protect your brain function to the optimum? Dr. Mosconi recommends the following. 1. Use Mediterranean diets. This diet is rich in healthy form of phytoestrogens, which are plant-based sources of mild estrogens. So flax seeds, sesame seeds, dried apricots, legumes, and a number of fruits should be part of your daily intake. 2. Avoid stress at all costs. Cortisol, your stress hormone, works alongside your estrogen levels. When your stress level goes up, so does your cortisol levels, which then pushes estrogen levels down. When your stress levels are kept low, then your cortisol goes low and thus your estrogen goes up, which is good for you. Here are other key self-help strategies which can help you during midlife as a woman. Protect your bone strength. Weight-bearing exercises are very important for your bone integrity, like walking, dancing, or even Zumba. If you wish to feel more fit and improve your stamina, consider enrolling yourself for a group exercise program or even subscribe for free YouTube exercise channels and workout in front of your screen at a scheduled and protected time. Improve your diet with calcium-rich food like milk, yogurt, and kale to keep your bones strong, and make sure you keep to a regular sleep pattern. Hormonal changes can be helped through natural supplements rather than just diet, so consider getting the expert opinion of a nutritional therapist also, if possible. Get closer with those trustworthy friends. Research has proven that women who are more connected with their friend circle at midlife also have a higher level of well-being and mental health. Reach out to those friends you may not have connected with for a while. Let them know what you're going through and ask for their support. If they care enough, they will be happy to support you. Protect quality time and invest in yourself. This is a time when you will need to invest in focusing on your own needs. Take some time each day to do something that you enjoy, whether it's reading, taking a bath, or just taking a walk. This is essential in reducing your stress levels every day. Make those big changes. Start afresh if need be. If you're not happy with your current situation, don't be afraid to make the changes you have to make yourself. This could mean changing that dreaded job, ending a bad relationship, or moving to a new city. Sometimes making that much awaited change can be just what you need to break free. This program gives you all the tools you need to craft a new hope and vision for your future. Use it. Action it. If you feel like you made some wrong turns in your life or that you need a better life path, don't be afraid to start over. This is a time when you can reinvent yourself and make a fresh start. Note, make sure you follow through with all the commitments to yourself you've made in this program and move with courage and fresh hope to your exciting purposes ahead of you. The good news is that there are tons of ways for you to turn these midlife changes into the greatest opportunity and period of growth and radical transformation in your life. Embrace it and live immediately. Thank you so much for being with me during this lesson, and I hope to see you in the next one. You take care.